Hi, everybody. This is Pastor Tim Madison from Bainbridge First Baptist Church, Bainbridge Island, Washington, with a message for you from God's Word this evening. The text I'd like to share with you is 2 Timothy 2:6. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruit. We've been looking at pictures of a Christian. How does God look at us? We've seen that God sees a Christian as a good soldier, and he sees a Christian as a successful athlete. And here we see God sees Christians as farmers. You ever drive by a field and admire all the work that went into the crop that you see growing there? Well, there is effort involved in the Christian life, as in everything else. And God does reward Christians on the basis of their faithfulness. Let me suggest to you three ways that a Christian is like a farmer. One is that, much Christian work is just not that exciting. Um, a husbandman is someone who tills the soil and raises crops. Now, compared to the other pictures that we saw, the life of a soldier or the athlete, um, okay, maybe it's not quite as exciting. The soldier lives on the edge of life and death in the battlefield, and the athlete has the thrill of the cheering crowd as he runs toward the goal. But the farmer works long and hard, plowing, planting, and goes home tired. But the most exciting thing he can say is, well, the corn grew 2 inches this week. Why does he do it? Because he's looking for a harvest. Now, spiritually, there are some people who have exciting ministries. They're invited to speak all over the world, and they have thousands of people flocking to hear them, and their books are all bestsellers. But then there are the rest of us. We're out in the field waiting for the corn to grow. And, every week I try to sow the seed of God's word into the hearts of people, but people don't change overnight usually. Sometimes there are bad storms or pests that destroy the plant before it can bear fruit, but you keep sowing and you keep trusting God to bring the increase of the harvest. Someone told me that for a typical farmer, he can plan on at least one out of every 7 years to be a financial catastrophe for the farm, and they just have to plan for that. It's part of their work. Another way that Christians are like farmers is that Christian work is tiring. Our text is that the husbandman that laboreth, labor means to be physically worn out and weary and faint. 1 Timothy 5:17, Paul says, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor, same word, they who labor in the word and in doctrine. Much Christian work really is mentally and emotionally draining. Even Jesus was so tired that he could fall asleep in a small boat in the middle of a fierce storm. You can expect to be tired as part of serving the Lord. You grow weary in the Christian life. Christ is our source of renewal, though. Isaiah 40:31 said, those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength, and they shall mount up with wings as eagles, and they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Another way that Christians are like farmers is that the reward comes at the end of the age, not at the end of the meeting. Our text says that he must be first partaker of the fruits. The farmer's fruit comes at the harvest. And the same is true of the Christian. The Bible often refers to the end of this age as the harvest. In some ways, it's like the sport of boxing. It's unusual among other sports because during the match, no one, not even the participant, knows the score or even knows who is ahead until the match is over. Christian life is a little bit like that. And James reminds us that a farmer needs patience. In James 5:7, he says, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it until he receive the early and the latter rain. Often we will not know what God accomplished through our labor, or our prayers, or our gifts, until we stand before him. And then we'll meet people who are in heaven because we sowed the seed through our words, or our gifts or our good deeds. We'll enjoy a harvest of just eternal joy. Can you imagine it? Jesus Christ will smile and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Looking forward to that great day, aren't you? Have a good evening, everybody, and I'll be back again with you very soon.